Why are Ferraris so expensive? You won't believe this. Hey, this is Rags to Riches, and you're watching Why Are Ferraris So Expensive? Before we start, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Also, make sure to watch the video until the end and let us know what you found the most fascinating about Ferrari in the comment section below. Get comfortable and let's get into it. It's the ultimate symbol of wealth or douchebag, or, depending on your personal tastes, Ferrari have been world-renowned as the top luxury sports car brand in the world for almost 8 decades. In the telltale sharp angles of its most modern high-end models are impossible to miss, ranging from a few $100,000 to a whopping $70 million. A Ferrari is the ultimate status symbol, but why in the world are Ferraris so expensive? Ferrari has its origins with Enzo Ferrari, who created a racing car manufacturing plant way back in 1929. Originally, Ferrari had no interest in building road automobiles or cars for use outside of a racetrack and focused exclusively on building the finest racing cars that a wealthy gentleman racer could afford. With the outbreak of the Second World War, Ferrari left the world of race cars briefly and created a manufacturing company that specialized in building machine tools and aircraft parts. Unable to resist the old urge to build fast cars, though, Ferrari had a prototype built, the Tipo 815. Unfortunately, due to the world at large being at war, the Tipo's first race was largely ignored. Eventually, Ferrari's factory would be bombed by the Allies, and after the war, it was rebuilt to focus on regular automobiles. Enzo Ferrari grudgingly agreed to build commercial cars, but only to find his beloved racing team Scuderia Ferrari. This racing team would go on to be the most successful in history, winning numerous Grand Prix events and building the legend of the Ferrari name. Soon Ferrari started building luxury sports automobiles, and thanks to the success of his racing team, was able to charge a hefty premium, a practice that lasts to this day. So the first answer as to why Ferrari are so expensive should be immediately obvious. When you're buying a Ferrari, a large part of the cost goes toward you, in effect, licensing the legendary Ferrari name for your personal life. Ferrari is a global status symbol, and when you buy a Ferrari, it doesn't matter what street in the world you drive it on. Everyone who sees it will instantly know that you have a ton of cash and probably very little personality. But hey, you don't need personality when you've got the cash to drive a Ferrari around. You may not be a legendary race car driver with nerves of steel, but once you're behind the wheel of a Ferrari, none of that will matter. You immediately join the ranks of the most elite race car drivers and mysterious international spies, and probably end up wrecking your brand new Ferrari like a disturbingly large number of drivers do. That's the other thing about Ferrari. They're known as supercars for a reason and pack more horsepower into a vehicle that any civilian in the world actually needs. The 2016 Ferrari LaFerrari, which we feel is a highly redundant name, clocks in at a whopping 950 horsepower and can accelerate from 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds, which is perfect for destroying your vehicle on a guardrail like a driver in England recently did. Compare that with the much more economical Toyota Camry, which ranges from 203 to 206 horsepower, and you can see why Ferrari itself often warns against inexperienced drivers purchasing their vehicles. The second reason why Ferrari are so expensive is that they are very unique cars. When you have a global brand name like Ferrari that fetches hundreds of thousands of dollars per car, you don't need to mass produce your vehicle. In fact, if the Ferrari started mass producing its supercars, its total brand value would plummet because it's just not cool to have the same toy a million other people have. Ferrari owners are not just buying artificial personalities with their car. They're buying into the elite exclusivity. And being exclusive is really the only way to one-up your neighbors in the lofty world of the 1%. Normal cars will see production numbers that run in the millions, and that's what helps make the miracle of horseless transportation a reality for the unwashed masses, allowing them to run their errands like buying peaks and farming dirt. We're not really sure what peasants do with their time, to be honest. For the Ferrari, though, production numbers are a fraction of that, and this skyrockets the price. Toyota Camrys, for instance, had sales of around 34,000 vehicles in 1 month alone in 2018. Compare that with the 1,311 total Ferrari F40s that were ever built. The Ferrari 340 8TB out of 4-year production run of 2,895 units. and the Ferrari 360 Spider had a 5-year production run of 7,500 units. Considering that each Toyota Camry cost around $20,000 depending on your upgrades. The Ferrari starts at $260,000 for a Ferrari Spider and can get as high as $600,000 for a Ferrari F40, and you could see that Ferrari definitely is making a healthy profit off each car. They may not mass market the way that regular automobile manufacturers do, but then again, they don't need to and enjoy their status as a niche high-status brand. Another difference between a Ferrari and a normal car, which drives up the cost, is how they are made. Normal cars made for normal people are made in large factories and on long assembly lines where machines put together the cars piece by piece, one after the other, a soulless and monotonous 24 hours a day, 7 days a week operation. That perfectly nears the empty, meaningless existence of the car's future owners. Ferraris, on the other hand, are handcrafted, each part of the vehicle built by the master craftsman using only the finest machine tools. Each Ferrari is a labor of love, a celebration of the incredible talent of the individual master craftsmen that took part in its construction, and those master craftsmen get paid very well. Certainly a lot better than the robot that built your dumb car. Lastly, the reason that Ferrari are so expensive is because, well, they can be. Despite the staggering price tag and the ever-increasing number of dead Ferrari drivers scraped off the side of the freeway, demand for Ferrari is skyrocketing. The ranks of the global 1% are growing, and not because we're suddenly living in a world with an equitable economic system for all people, but because individuals are rising around the world who are quickly hoovering up wealth into fewer and fewer hands. This means that more people around the globe desperately need to prove how superior they are to you and to their fellow elite 1%ers. And what better way to do that than to show off their new mistress, or because divorces are so expensive, a brand new Ferrari. Yep, that's right, Ferrari can pretty much just set its own price, and rich people will beg Ferrari for the opportunity to buy one of their supercars. When money is no object and the only thing that matters is status, it's hard to beat the status of owning a Ferrari. Just watch literally any rap video. Of course, you could use all that wealth to boost your status as a great humanitarian, or perhaps a patron of science or the arts. Invest hundreds of thousands in causes that actually help yourself and other people. But that stuff's for nerds and no ways of ever going to score your third mistress. Would you ever buy Ferrari? What other car would you buy if you had the cash? Tell us in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. If you want to see more luxury videos, make sure to click here so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching, and until next time.